And that's what we want to talk about today. What are the necessary conditions for what makes a Christian, right? We want to talk about what C.S. Lewis calls mere Christianity. So we're not going to go into specific doctrinal differences within denominations, or maybe even within the primary divisions of faith, Roman Catholicism, Orthodox Christianity, and Protestantism. We want to see what are the absolute essentials you have to hold, at least to be a Christian. Do they exist? Can we measure them? So that if we meet someone or read something, we can compare their beliefs against at least the essentials and know where these folks fall. Because to tell you the truth, Jehovah's Witnesses and Mormons are easy, but it's tough for a lot of other people and a lot of other movements. Let me give you a couple of examples. Imagine that you're at the auto mechanic and you're going to wait for an hour or so for your car. You see a magazine laying on the counter that says The Plain Truth, and it's published by a church, a notable church. It's got God all over it. It says Reverend and things like that. You thumb through the articles, and it has one article, what kind of God do you worship? It talks about, or asks the questions, will Catholics and Protestants unite? What's the real cause of division between professing Christians? And another one that catches your eye, millions do not know what Christ really was. You say, well, this is interesting. Let me find out, what these guys think. And you read this quote. Christ, one of the beings in the Godhead, has now been changed into flesh, still having the personality and will to do right, which distinguished him as an entity. Yet, now becoming human, having human nature with all of its desires, weaknesses, and lusts, and subject to death just like any other human being. So, what do I make of this? Is this an orthodox magazine? Should I continue to read from it? Should I learn from it? I'm not sure. Well, maybe you're a little confused, so you decide to clear your head with an inspirational recording, an inspirational speech that someone at work gave you, that their pastor handed over, and you hear this talk. And you hear the pastor in this tape hearing saying, man is seen as having a divine nature because he is made in the image of God. This divine nature is, however, blocked. You can't access it. Men can use their free will to surrender to the mind of God, or the will of God, as it were, or continue in their own understanding, which is really darkness, since it is influenced by the lusts of the body. Now, anybody know who said that? Sounds good? How many of you think it sounds okay? Not sure? That was David Koresh, Branch Davidians. Okay, you say, fine. Okay, I pick up this magazine. This is Herbert W. Armstrong, Worldwide Church of God. I listen to this tape. This is David Koresh, Branch Davidians. I'm just going to play it safe. I'm going to go to the Christian bookstore. And you look on the bestseller list. Let's not even waste our time just grabbing something off the shelf. Let's do something that everybody's recommending. And you pull a book off the shelf by Bishop T.D. Jakes. Top seller. One of the top 10 books listed in the Christian bookstore. And you want to be doubly careful, so you pull out your smartphone and you look up his website and you go to his beliefs page. And his beliefs page says, at the Potter's House, tdjakes.net, as a matter of fact, where I got this from. It says that one of the things they believe about God is there are 3 dimensions to God. And they say, quote, we believe in one God who is eternal in his existence, triune in his manifestation, being both Father, Son, and Holy Ghost, and that he is sovereign and absolute in his authority. How does that sound? That sounds legit, but it's not. T.D. Jakes is a oneness Pentecostal. He actually denies the Trinity. Well, we'll get to that. We'll get to that at the end. You see the problem here? Everybody wants a piece of Jesus. Jesus was the most influential figure who ever lived on the planet. And because of that, everybody wants to claim him as his own. The Hindus want to claim him as an avatar, an enlightened one who's, You have the Mormons who tell that Jesus is the one who's come back. You have Islam. Isa he's mentioned many, many times in the Quran. He's called sinless in the Quran. Everybody wants a piece of Jesus. How do we define and know all of these people who claim to be following Christ if they're Christian or not?